Outside, the wind has picked up a bit, and there are clouds starting to close in. The nice day that had been shaping up seems like it might not happen.
Alright, so I admit that was kind of awkward. For everyone involved.
Great. I'm glad you can admit it. That doesn't help us any.
Next time we see her, we just won't bring up the cat. Hopefully she won't either. We can just pretend it didn't happen.
Next time? What do you think is going to happen next time? That she was saving the good cryptids for the second time we hang out?
We can ask her about the spirit, or the lights, that kind of thing. We get some spooky shots of the woods and we're golden. We're pros at making that kind of content interesting.
Usually, we at least have something to work with. She made it up. There is no dark side to this sleepy, boring mountain town. It's just a boring mountain town, and she pretty much straight up admitted to that. I don't get how you aren't as upset about this as I am. We just spent thousands of dollars to fly across the whole world for a month. And the person who invited us out here is either a liar or a lunatic.
It's only been a day, Mads. We've seen only a fraction of what there is to see around here. Just give it some time, alright?
It's been a day, and look where that got us already. Literally every single person we talked to told us to stay away from Morgan, and then we even saw it for ourselves. How are you not pissed off about this? Tara shrugs.
Don't you think you're being a bit harsh on Morgan? She's been super cool with us. Like, okay, yeah, the cat thing was weird, but it's not like she tried to hurt us or anything.
I start to shake my head, forcing myself to cool off. I keep getting too worked up over this. I can't tell if Tara's being intentionally stubborn or what, but technically she's the one who bankrolled this whole trip, and I'm still getting paid for my time here. So if she's not upset about wasting all of that, then fine. I'll meet her at the train station in a month and she can do what she wants. I don't need to get so bent out of shape. Okay, you're right. Maybe she's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to the cabin. Are you coming with me?
Wait, already?
Yeah, I've got enough to get started. Plus, I need to unpack.
Oh, okay.
You gonna ask Morgan to hitch up the carriage? No, it's fine. I'll walk.
You sure?
Yeah, I seriously don't think I could get lost in this place anymore. She seems uncertain, probably because of my sudden mood swing.
Okay, I'll probably do another lap around the village. Maybe get Morgan's input on some stuff.
Okay, see you later then.
See ya.
I turn and walk away, so I don't have to see her staring like a lost puppy. She'll get over it. As I head through town and back towards the path that will lead me to the cabin, I walk fast and look down for most of the way. Nobody tries to stop me or talk to me, and if anyone's staring, then I don't catch it. The trip back to the cabin is easy, even though it takes me around half an hour on foot. If nothing else, I should be in pretty good shape from all the walking at the end of this trip. I spend the whole walk fantasizing about home. My comfy bed, my film collection, our cat BT. Well, technically he's Tara's cat, but I take care of him most of the time. Speaking of cats, I wonder how Tara will explain to Morgan why she's on her own. Well, that's her problem, not mine. Alone, the cabin is oppressively silent. I turn on the heater, partially just for the white noise. Soon its rumbling fills the air. I grab an apple from a small bowl of provided food and then head into my bedroom, setting up my laptop in bed next to me. I usually try to watch a film a day, but that's difficult when I'm traveling. Now's the perfect time to catch up, though. I open up my library and start scrolling through, looking for something I haven't seen before. Ideally a comedy, or at least something with a happy ending. I've just gotten through the L's when there's a knock at the front door. I nearly dropped my apple. Who could be knocking? Tara and Morgan both have their own keys. The knocking comes again just seconds later. Whoever is out there is super impatient. My heart thumps in my chest. What if we're being cased for a robbery or something? I hide my laptop under the blankets as I hurry into the living room. There's a third knock. Right as I reach the door, and I peek outside to see a shock of orange hair. It isn't Morgan, but instead, her mother. I open the door, right as she prepares for her fourth knock. Just how fast does she think I can walk? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Madison, wasn't it?
That's right.
I'm coming in.
She pushes past me, not even giving time to fully realize it wasn't a question. Well, I guess she does technically own the place. Inside, Evelyn surveys the area slowly and impassively, as if judging our taste in luggage and belongings. How can I help you?
I wanted to make good on our promise from last night to talk. Please, have a seat.
She moves some of the stuff on the couch, gesturing for me to sit. I obey, too taken aback to do anything else.
How's your first day in Eysenfeld been? I trust you found everyone very accommodating and everything to your liking?
It was fine. Everyone's been very kind to us. I wonder if she'd be surprised at how the villagers treated us. It seems better just to pretend everything went well for the sake of not offending our host.
Good, good. Where's the other one?
The other what?
The other one with you, Tara.
Oh, she's still at Morgan's shop, I think. Evelyn raises an eyebrow, though her eyes betray no curiosity. It looks like a purely symbolic motion.
Is she now? I assume, then, that you found something not to your liking there.
Her gaze is piercing, and I absent-mindedly tug at my scarf. I can't get a read on her, neither her intentions nor her feelings. It was fine. I just wanted to come back early so I could take a nap. Get started on editing the footage we took. I hope my lie is convincing. I don't want to tell her that I think her daughter's crazy. She doesn't seem to question it.
I see. Did she show you that awful cat?
Geladura?
Yes, so she did. I hate that creature. Always underfoot, getting in the way.
I just sit quietly, not sure how to respond.
Anyway, Madison, please tell me about yourself. I didn't have much forewarning about your arrival, so I'm rather in the dark.
Her tone is suddenly friendly, but not warm. She smiles, but it doesn't seem to fit her mouth. Her lips seem to stretch a bit too wide. I'm probably just imagining it. As concisely as I can, I tell her about paranormal and the kinds of things we investigate. Throughout it all, she doesn't express any opinion one way or another, just nods occasionally.
And what brought you to Eysenfeld?
I hesitate. How much has Morgan told her? Anything? Morgan told us that there are a lot of ghost stories and legends around here. Lights in the forest at night and whatnot. Tara really liked the sound of a vacation out here. Evelyn sighs deeply. It's jarringly melodramatic after her total apathy during my explanation.
That daughter of mine, always lying and making up ridiculous tales. It's been the same her entire life, hysterically dragging people into her fantasies. It's something I've never been able to knock out of her.
She shakes her head sadly, standing up from the other chair she'd been occupying.
I'm sorry to say that you're simply the most recent victim of her lies. It's a pity, but you won't be finding anything like that out here. Besides, it's dangerous to go into the forest, especially at night. We wouldn't want anything to happen to you, after all. After all, that's why we have the rules that we do. For the safety of everyone. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of your time here in Eysenfeld, though. As disappointing as it might be.
It's nearly the exact same thing that the people we interviewed in the village itself said. It's almost like they rehearsed the answer in advance. With long, deliberate strides, Evelyn crosses the living room to the front door. "I'm sure I'll see you again." She doesn't wait for me to respond, she just leaves, the door slamming shut behind her. I sit in silence for a while, unsure what to make of it all. So Morgan's own mom thinks she's as ridiculous as I had suspected the whole time. That's pretty damning. Although I doubt it will change Tara's mind about anything. I'll have to let her know when she comes home. I stand up and head for my bedroom, passing by the chair that Evelyn had been sitting in. As I go, for a moment, I swear that I feel a breeze, frigid and cold. The moment the thought crossed my mind, the sensation is gone, like it was never there. Shivering, I return to my warm bed and laptop, and to a long overdue break. Hours later, I hear the sound of the front door opening and closing. I peek out of my bedroom, worried that it might be the mayor letting herself in again. It's just Tara, though, alone. It's been a few hours since we parted ways, and I'm not as annoyed with her anymore. So even though I'm kind of tempted to just put my headphones in and ignore her, I get up and head into the living room. She stands at the sink, flipping through a notebook. I knock on the edge of the doorframe as I enter, so that she can hear me coming. "Hey."
"Hey."
Rather than looking at me, she keeps reading her notebook. Well, pretending to. There's no way she could actually be reading as fast as she's turning the pages. I decide not to call her on it. No point in starting another fight. "How'd it go?"
"About the same."
"Is that good or bad?" She doesn't respond. She must really be upset about this morning. It's not like she's being unreasonable. Now that I've had some time to rest and recuperate, I feel kind of bad about being so harsh towards her and Morgan. Morgan's mom came by earlier. That gets her attention. She shuts the book and turns around. "Gotcha."
"Really? What for?"
"Just wanted to introduce herself. I told her a bit about who we are and what the show's about."
"What'd she think?"
"I dunno. She didn't really say much. She was really weird. Like, in a different way than Morgan. She seemed really intense, I guess. What I mostly remember is how she was glaring the whole time. It never seemed like she was anything other than angry about something." Smugly, Tara holds up the notebook she was just perusing.
"I know you're gonna call BS, but Morgan was telling me a lot of stuff about her mom, like some seriously crazy stuff. You wanna read it?"
She offers me the notebook. It hangs limply, a giant frown in the air. She used that thing for so long that it's lost all its rigidness. I shake my head. "I'll take your word for it. I've heard enough crazy stuff from Morgan for one day. I don't need to hear theories on how her mom is actually the spawn of Satan or something."
"Figured. Make any progress with the new vid?"
"Not really. We're gonna need more footage before that's enough to really get started."
"That mean you're coming with us from now on, or what?"
"Yeah, I will. Sorry for being bitchy earlier." Again.
"Don't sweat it." She strikes a pose. "Just make sure to bring your A game."
I roll my eyes, but I'm smiling. Even though we bicker a lot, I'm truly grateful that it's always easily patched up. Yeah. I can't promise that I'll buy into a word of what Morgan says, but the least I can do is try to be polite about it. Tension resolved, Tara yawns and flips her notebook at me again.
"Alright, well, I'm gonna hit the hay soon. What about you?"
"I'm probably gonna watch a film first. I'm not that tired yet."
"How many times can you watch 2001 before you get sick of it?"
"I don't know, but I intend to find out." Tara and I each head back to our bedrooms. As I go, I feel a bit better about everything. Just because I'm quitting the show doesn't mean I want to lose Tara as my best friend. We've been friends for over a decade, so of course we've had our disagreements and arguments. I think the longest we've ever gone without talking was a month. Still, over the last few days, it's felt like we've been coming dangerously close to saying something that goes too far. Either one of us. And thinking back on today, I can't really pretend that I'm not the one who was mostly at fault. Even when I'm aware that I'm losing my cool, sometimes it feels like it's hard to stop. Tara totally has it coming though, at least some of the time. From now on, I will be better. I won't let myself be as obnoxious as I was today, for everyone's sake. I climb into bed and set up my laptop, getting comfy. In the dark with my headphones in, it doesn't take too long to immerse myself in the familiar feeling of a film that I love. That's what I appreciate about movies. No matter the circumstances, they can help you escape. My eyes are getting heavy and I pull the blankets up to my chin. The computer is balanced in just the right spot to not fall off the bed. All things considered, it's a cozier setup than I could have hoped for from a cabin out here. Sure, the Wi-Fi's bad, but it gives me an excuse to check up on my backlog. Everything's perfect to fall asleep. The sound of something knocking on my window makes me leap up. It's past midnight. There shouldn't be anyone here. Maybe it's a bird or a squirrel or something. From where I'm lying, I'm not able to see. Should I yell for Tara? No, not until I know what it is. If it's just some wildlife, as is probably the case, she'd never let me live it down. Still, my heart pounds as I slam my laptop shut, killing the only source of light. Without it, the room is pitch black. Dark enough that I can't see what's at the window, but hopefully, it can't see me either. If it turns out to be just a lost rodent or something, I'm gonna feel real stupid. I stalk over to the window, prepared to cut and run if I need to. Slowly, I raise myself up to eye level.
Hey.
Morgan is pressed against the window pane, looking into my room with one hand resting against the glass.
Do you have a minute?
God damn it. Tension drains out of me, replaced immediately with exhaustion. I should have known. You couldn't knock?
I did.
I rub my temples and sigh. She's technically correct. The worst kind of correct. Okay. I guess I have a minute. But if you're going to come in and talk, please use the door.
Of course. I'm not going to climb through the window.
Color me shocked. I head into the living room and hesitate in front of Tara's door. Should I knock? Knowing her, she's probably already asleep. I've always been jealous of her ability to pass out instantly. I decide to leave it up to Morgan. There must be a reason she knocked on my window, not Tara's. I unlock the front door and let Morgan in. She's waiting with a thermos of coffee in her hands, like usual.
Sorry to bother you. I know it's late.
It's fine. I was still awake. Not for much longer, ideally, but I keep that to myself.
Were you working on the video?
Nah, just watching a film before bed. Can't do much until we have more footage, and even then, I left most of my setup back in the US. We sit down on the couches, just like her mother and I did earlier. For all her faults, at least Morgan isn't as terrifying as her mom is.
Does Tara help with the video work at all?
Not really. I've tried to teach her stuff once or twice, but she's not interested in learning.
That sounds like her.
Yeah. I'm a little put off by Morgan already feeling like she knows Tara and what she's like. I guess that's a result of watching someone online for so long. You start to think you know what they're like, even though you've only ever seen one side of them. We get it a lot, so I'm kind of used to it. Sometimes it can become a bigger problem, though. People think that they're entitled to us acting a certain way because they've seen it online. Fortunately, Morgan hasn't been that way at all. Yet. I do wish that she would get to the point of why she's here, though. But instead, she gets up and heads to the kitchen area, retrieving a coffee mug from the cabinet, without ever turning on the lights. I twist around to watch as she pours some of the coffee from her thermos into the mug, and then loads that into the microwave. Must not be a very effective thermos. At least she's polite enough to make sure the microwave door doesn't slam. She leans against the counter, barely visible to me.
Tara told me that you're leaving the show after this trip is over.
Of course she did. I must have made a face because Morgan clears her throat loudly.
Sorry. Was it supposed to be a secret?
Nah, it's fine. But yeah, that's the idea. I'll go back and finish school.
I see. That's a shame. I know you hate when it happens, but I've always enjoyed the moments when you're on camera.
Thanks. I'm just camera shy. Ironic, I know. She's yanked me on screen enough times that I'm a bit used to it by now, though. Morgan hits the stop button on the microwave a second before it dings. She retrieves her coffee and returns to the couch.
But I guess that's why things seem a bit tense between the two of you, right?
Before I can answer, she shakes her head.
Actually, sorry. That's none of my business.
You're fine. It's that obvious, huh?
A bit. You've seemed tense whenever I see you. That's actually the main reason I came by. I promise it wasn't just to be nosy.
I was starting to wonder.
I came by to say that I'm sorry. I know that you're also uncomfortable around me.
She says it as nonchalantly as if she was telling me about the weather.
It's okay. You don't have to spare my feelings. I guarantee I've been called worse than whatever it is you're thinking. It's just that I sleep better tonight if I cleared the air between us first.
She takes a long sip of coffee that should be hot enough to scald her mouth. I can't fathom how she could sleep at all, or if she even needs to anymore. I mean, It's nothing like that, nothing personal, really. I'm just a cynic, I guess. If it makes you feel any better, I'm the same way for pretty much every episode. You just get the behind-the-scenes experience this time. Morgan shrugs.
I can't blame you for thinking I'm crazy or full of shit, but I can promise you that I'm not stupid.
It's fine. I'm always the skeptical one out of the two of us, after all. There's just a lot going on, like you heard. So I'm sort of a mess all around right now. It's not your fault. I half laugh. At least, not entirely. She smiles thinly, seeming to appreciate my bluntness. To be perfectly honest, you weren't really what we were expecting either. She sets the coffee down, looking interested.
Really?
Yeah, we were prepared for someone super fangirly and like, all over Tara. Like, annoyingly so. Not
me.
Right. Even in your email, you seemed a bit more... I don't know how to not say this rudely. Interesting, engaging, not monotone.
More energetic?
She saves me again. Yeah, pretty much. The emails that we had exchanged back home had a lot of smiley faces, exclamation points, and other cheery touches. In person, however, seeing Morgan smile at all is a rarity on its own.
That makes sense. I wasn't trying to trick the two of you or anything. It's just easier to be open like that online, I guess.
I understand. That much, at least, I can really empathize with.
I know that you don't know me, and that so far, I haven't given you any real reason to trust me or believe me. But I hope that you'll at least give it a chance. Paranormal is really important to me. I've been a fan for years, but I'm not the type of person who would invite you to the middle of nowhere just to meet Tara. I invited you out here for a reason, and I'm confident in that reason. But I understand that you'll need more proof than that.
I wait to see if she has more to say, but that seems to be it. Thank you for telling me all this, though. I really do appreciate it, and I'm sorry for being so dismissive. It'd be nice to be wrong for once. So I hope that we do find all that stuff you talked about. I really do.
Tomorrow night, I was going to show Tara around the woods a bit. Would you like to come along?
Yeah, I'll be there. I don't especially like the idea of wandering the forest at night, but I can't exactly say no after I just promised to be more agreeable. She nods and takes a careful swig of her coffee. Then she stands.
Cool. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I'll get out of your hair now so you can get some rest.
She heads for the door and throws it open without waiting for a response. The temperature plummets right away, and she turns back.
Thank you for listening. I appreciate it too. But just so you know, I'll prove you wrong.
She closes the door and disappears into the night,